Hey Yetis, it's Mr. Smith here. Here is a fourth quarter video update. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the end of the school year. Well, we're getting there, right? We're wrapping it up. Fourth quarter. Hope everybody had an amazing, long, unforeseen 5-day weekend and coming back fresh, ready to hit it hard till we hit that spring break in about 1 month, but a lot going on between now and then. So let's get started. We'll talk about all that stuff. It is fourth quarter, and I spent a little bit of time just kind of going backwards and looking at the amazingness of this group of students in this year. There's us on our first day of orientation, teaching students what it means to be a Yeti and how to be a part of this amazing community. Turning leadership over to the students has been a huge focus for us this school year. Man, we've planned for years to try to get our seniors going on a senior camping trip. We finally made it happen this year. Class of 24 about to graduate. All of us taking the hard route, up Quandary, doing hard things together as a community, and building the capacity that we have as Yetis, that we do things hard and we do things that are together. Giving back to our community, whether it be through community dinners, celebrating together at homecoming, getting dolled up and going out into the dance floor and tearing it up. Not me. They tried to get me out there. Wasn't happening. More partnerships with our community where we go out and we give back to our community in that focus. This is with Friends of the Dillon Ranger District earlier this school year, giving back to Smart Bellies and helping pack food for Smart Bellies, sitting at our school board meetings, tearing up sledding hills, all kinds of good things that are going on. Building our community by shared group experiences, like going ice skating together, working really hard in classes, doing high-level math work, focused on learning, focused on growth, meeting with our school district superintendent, giving him feedback on how we can be better as a school district, as a school. And then huge victory recently. We sent 2 teams down to the Kidwind Challenge at the CSU Denver Spur campus. And our 2 middle school teams took first and second and only missed each other by a half of a point. And believe this, we just got an invitation for both of those teams to go to the World Championships in May in Minnesota. So more information on that to come. So great things going on this school year. And that's looking backwards, but let's spend a little time looking ahead of what's going on for the rest of this school year. So Jen's going to have junior year conferences, setting up the individual career and academic plans for all of our juniors so that they're set for senior year and beyond. Also, just a reminder, Jen is available, especially on Friday afternoons, for any family who wants to meet with Jen and set up and talk about those career and academic plans throughout their schooling and after high school. We're going to have information nights going down March 26th and 27th. Spread the word. Help us, continue a strong Yeti culture with great Yetis. You know who those people are. Invite them in. April 3rd for our graduates who are awarded local scholarships. Hold that date. That is when the celebration is going to be. Also, our graduates should have their portfolios done by April 5th. On April 12th, that's the day before spring break, we are going to send all of our students into the community for Job Shadow Day, where they get to go observe somebody who's in a profession, a job, or a field that they might be interested in. And then April 24th, that'll be our last potluck of the year. Put it on your calendar. And just a reminder that we're going to do that in conjunction with our last personal project opportunity for personal project presentations. So seniors who weren't able to do them in February are going to do them April 24th during the fourth quarter potluck. And then May 23rd, big day. Class of 2024, we'll be celebrating them at graduation. So April is... that is CMAS, PSAT, SAT. It's state assessments in those first 2 weeks of April. And before we talk about anything else having to do with that, I just need to take a minute and just remind you that we know that your child is not a number. They are not a test score. They are an incredible human, and that's what we focus on. And at Snowy Peaks, we focus on academics, character development, service to community, and engagement with nature. And academics is just one of those components. And so, I just want to reiterate, testing, it's important. and we value it, and our students always show up, and they show up and do our best, and they do their best, and they show everybody that the Yeti way works, that we can be a non-traditional school and we can still have high academic performance and tons of growth, tons of learning that takes place right here in our school, even though we have a whole lot of fun, we focus on relationships, we help students be their best selves, and it's not just all about academics here, but yet we still perform on those tests. So thanks for helping us reinforce to our Yetis that we want to cheer them on to do their best, and at the same time recognize that there is a whole lot more to student success than just a test score. Hope that makes sense. So here's the information on testing that's coming up. There's some key dates. You can kind of see what grade your Yeti's in and what day they'll be testing on this slide. And then it kind of looks a little different when we put it on a calendar. So here's the first 2 weeks of April. And so you can kind of see which days we're going to be testing and which grades we'll be testing at that time. This big one, all 9th, 10th, and 11th graders will be taking the PSAT and SAT on April 10th. And that is a one-day test with a one-day makeup. And so, as you look through these dates, if you see any dates that your Yeti is not going to be in school, it really helps us if you communicate that as early as possible, because there is a ton of planning and logistics that go into creating a testing center on all of these days for all of our Yetis. So it'll just help us out with planning for that. And then, as I talked about earlier, Job Shadow Day, April 12th. After this week, we have spring break, April 15th to the 19th. And then the last week of April, when they come back, those will be CMAS, PSAT, and SAT makeups. But I will say it's a little harder to make up the PSAT and SAT. So April 10th is a really important day for students in grades 9, 10, and 11. Okay. We also know that we always have some parents who are like, hey, we want to refuse testing. We're going to do a parent refusal this year. And so just so you know, that's okay. Like we totally understand that that's a parent's choice to do so. And at the same time, I always want our school to have an accurate depiction of where we are as a school. So we really like to see as many students test as possible, because that gives us accurate data. And it helps us use that data to plan how we can be better, right? Like, where can we work harder on what skills, and how can we support your student individually next year the best that we can? And so that data is really useful to us. But if you are going to make the choice to do a parent refusal for state assessments, there is a form that you'll need to request from Tina. You'll need to get that signed, and then you and I just have to have a quick conversation per school board policy about that parent refusal. So testing starts April 1st. So please do that sooner than later if you're going to choose to do a parent refusal for state testing. Okay, Fridays. I just want to quickly renorm the expectation for Fridays. Fridays are a big thing at Snowy Peaks, right? Other kids in other schools are sitting in math, English, science, social studies classes, and we're out in the community focusing on character development, community service, and nature, which I think is awesome. But we have seen it fizzle just a little bit, okay? And so just as a reminder, all of those experiential education weeks that we do character, community, and nature focus activities, they are mandatory, all right? And so we expect all students to show up, and we pre-assign which groups of students go to which activities, and we really try to give them a lot of variety throughout the school year. But there are times when a student's like, man, I don't really want to go do that. And they might call you and ask you to call them out, or they ask us to switch their activity, or, there's just been some last minute kind of hiccups go on. And I just want to be clear, what that does for us is it creates a scenario where, like, Friends of the Dillon Ranger District might expect us to bring 20 students to help them and for us to do community service with them. And we might show up with only 7. And what that does is it reflects poorly upon our school and our community, because we're not honoring our commitments that we make, saying, hey, we're going to work with you and support our community partners. So please encourage your student to go to those Friday afternoon activities. We do log them for graduation progress. They are mandatory. They're part of their portfolio that they have to submit when they graduate. And so just all good reasons to make sure that we're doing cool things together as a community, and you're supporting us with it. And then on the flip side, on alternating weeks from experiential ed, we have WIN period, what I need period, when we create small group tutoring where we can help students get caught up, help them build skills. But just a reminder, if your child gets a yellow or a red notification on Wednesday, it is mandatory that they are here on Friday. So just a reminder that that is also mandatory for students who are identified that have to be here. Okay, graduates. And even if you don't have a graduate, you should listen to this because your child will graduate someday and you might want to know what it takes. So, three big things: finish all their credits, pass all their classes that they need to pass, complete their personal project, 30 hours with the presentation. So 30 hours of work on the project and a presentation, and then completing their portfolios, which includes all those experiential education activities, a number of other activities, community service logs, and things like that. And so as a reminder for our graduates this year, those are due April 5th. Okay? And then the big events for our graduates that are coming up on Wednesday, May 22nd. That is a required day. Please mark it off on a calendar. All graduates need to be here to do their kind of exit activities before graduation. And so that's a mandatory day on May 22nd. And then right after school, they can head up to Breckenridge and participate in the graduate parade down Main Street, Breckenridge, which is an awesome way for them to celebrate. And then Thursday is the big day. Thursday, 5 o'clock, Breckenridge Riverwalk Center. We will be celebrating the class of 2024 and handing out those diplomas. And we invite all of our community, all Yeti families, all Yeti students to come celebrate with us. It is a powerful, powerful night. If you've never been to a Snowy Peaks graduation, it's a special thing. Okay. All right. And then I talked a little bit about this earlier, but just as a reminder, we are planning for next school year already. And so a couple of reminders. One, if you have not yet completed your intent to return form, please do that because we need to know how many spots we can open up. And so we just need feedback from our current families as to whether they plan to come back next year or whether they plan to seek education somewhere else. And that is totally fine. But it really helps us if you let us know. For students who might need a little reinforcement on our commitments and our expectations at Snowy Peaks, we may call a meeting to go back through those if there's any areas of growth. And then, again, continue to send us your recommendations and send them to those information nights that are coming up. All right, and then the last one, I went over this at the PTSO and SAC meeting, but I thought it was really important to share this with everybody. The master planning that's going on at the district level heavily includes the Yetis and Snowy Peaks. And so the district has identified 5 key areas of need that we are going to present to the community, possibly ask for the taxpayers to support. But you'll see a big one right here is Snowy Peaks and our programming support. We also have some facility needs, but programming support is the big one for me. And so whenever they talk about Snowy Peaks, they talk a lot about, yes, this wing was built in 1986 and the roof definitely is 1986. And there's all kinds of stuff. We've outgrown our space. We lack certain facilities. But boy, the big one for me is this last one right here, is that we don't have access for our students to join in those career pathways or technical education pathways that benefit students regardless of whether they're going to four-year university, whether they're going into the military, whether they're going into the workforce after high school or whatever it is. Getting that kind of exposure, and the data says it sets students up for post-secondary success. And so I want every student in Summit County, the Yetis included, to have those opportunities. So there's talk of possibly, maybe building Snowy Peaks a new school, looking at a new building that might be closer to Summit High School to allow our students access to career pathways. And so the district looked at many career pathways and got lots of feedback from stakeholders and parents and everybody about what pathways parents and our community would like to see. And they came up with these 6. So careers in healthcare, careers in computer science. Oh my gosh, if you know anything about it, so much money to be made in computer science. Kids love technology, especially our Yetis. and there are tons and tons of jobs available. Other jobs in engineering and advanced manufacturing, natural resources and outdoor leadership, jobs in skilled trades. And if you look at this chart, these mean salaries, man, $128,000 a year is a really livable and great salary. And we can see that there's going to be lots of job openings and opportunities in these fields in the upcoming years as well. So, man, high pay and job openings, it's a win-win for everybody, and we want our Yetis to be a part of that. So we really, we hope you can get behind supporting Snowy Peaks and all of this, and make your voice known whenever the time comes, and certainly reach out to me if you have any questions on this stuff. Okay, that's all I have for you. Hopefully I did that faster than the other attempts I had at this, but a lot of information. Haven't made a video in a while, so yep, here it is. But yeah, as always, please do me a favor. Let me know if there is anything that I could be doing better for you, for your child. We are not perfect, but we want to be. And we can only do that with your feedback. So if you ever need to schedule some time with me, I will make myself available. The best way to reach me is that cell phone number right there. Shoot me a text. That'll get you the fastest result. But email me, reach out, call me. And we are here to help. So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.